Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. So for this quest here, it is out in Eveningstar, kind of towards the tavern here. There's a gentleman sitting outside. Now you will notice I have already done part of this quest, as it does say completed. That is because there are actually three quests to this quest. And I'll explain that once we get to the door itself. So here we go across the bridge. At the end of the bridge, off to our left, we'll actually have the quest entrance. Now, when you select the quest entrance, there are a total of 3 options on where you want to go in. So there's the first one here, which is the base. Now, in order to get and unlock the other ones, the extended version and the commentary version, you do need to first complete the first one. So I wanted to complete the first one, that way I can do the extended version for you guys. And I'll just mention where the original one ends off. So it's the same quest, just the extended has additional things and additional steps to do. The commentary is identical to the extended, except there do have a lot of DM commentary when you reach certain points. Alright, so let's jump in on Elite. Now there are a lot of ways to go through the quest. I will show you the most direct and easy method of actually getting through here, as well as hitting the big major optionals, which will drop the named loot there.
You were at the entrance to the lair of the infamous bandit king Rivior.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is head on through this door here. We're going to head down to this corpse pile. Now there can actually be rats in here, so just watch yourself. Now we do have a door, which you can use strength to open. Typically I don't actually go this route. I'll actually head right and head north through the hidden wall. Now there is some traps here, as you can see. So you do gotta watch out, there's a lot. And the trap boxes are actually just after the traps. So there's one here. And then the second set of traps. Again, the same thing. Now once that is completed, you want to just head straight. Now you'll have a few groups of guys here. Now the path that I'm taking, it does kind of require you to have someone who can pick locks and to search traps, which if you are doing this quest, it is highly recommended to actually have a proper trapper, just due to the amount of traps and the deadly traps. There are a couple of like pitfall traps which are literal insta kills, so it's just good to be able to get in there and actually get that done. Alright, so once they are dead, we're going to want to head through the door at the back of the room here. And we're going to have a group of spiders. So the spiders, they die fairly easily. Now at this corner, again, we have a whole bunch of traps. So we have a bunch of these pressure plate traps, and then we have 2 blade traps on either side. Now, the path that I take, typically you don't get the full trap bonus regardless. Oh, still a couple spiders left. There we go. And again, we can also grab these pressure plates. So typically what I'll do is I will just head on the left side here, disabling the blade, and then just enough pressure plates to actually make it through this path.
Your soul glows.
Not actually going through the center here and actually getting all of them. But we'll definitely do that here for the video. But yeah, it's kind of a time-sensitive thing. So as you see, the pressure plates themselves, all they do is toss out a trap. So it doesn't actually hurt you, but that's where these blades on the sides come in. So you always want to make sure you grab the blade traps first, in case you accidentally happen to step on these pressure plates, or if you're in a party, that a member of the party steps on them, because it is an AoE net trap. Alright. So here we are with that neutralization bonus. So at the end of the hall here, we do want to pull either this lever, or if you have search, you can get the door as well.
This gate looks like it's controlled
And
by
again,
a mechanism elsewhere in the
we got our door here. We just want to go through there. And then off to the left, well, off to your right, we do have a bunch more traps. It'll be very similar to what we had just gone through with the traps. Now, once these ones, however, they will still do the net trap, though this time, once you step on them, it'll also activate a spinning blade trap. Alright. So here, there's the jeweled locked door. We're going to want to go through there. Now, throughout the quest, killing various guys like this guy here, he will drop jeweled keys. You can actually use them to pick the lock, like unlock those jeweled locked doors, or you can just, again, kind of auto cheat and just pick the lock.
Yes.
Alright, so once he's dead, we're going to want to proceed through our door and head left. Now, as we're heading left, again, just on our left, we want to head down the stairs, and we're going to find a crest. Now, you do want to pick up the crest here, and you're going to see a lot of statues. Now, the statue that currently has the crest is actually a doppelganger, and he will fight you. Now, I highly recommend fighting next to the gate here. As you see the door, it's going to close on us. Now, the reason I recommend fighting next to the door is because as you're fighting him, you can actually hit these statues, and they're going to cause a lightning effect. Now, the lightning effect is evadable. He will attack them as well, so it's not just you hitting them. And it can, I've seen it quickly wipe parties if they don't have, those characters don't have like a high reflex save or evasion, to avoid getting the stacks of that. So once you weaken it enough, he's going to run off, kind of hit one of the other statues. They're going to kind of zap and explode. At this point, he basically hides himself among the other statues.
The triggering of so many statues must have caused them to overload.
Now, the easy way to figure out which statue is which is if you hover over top of them, they are going to give you a CR rating.
Where did the doppelganger go?
Now, the statues are all, as you see, CR 30. But one of them is going to be a lot higher, such as this one right here. And this is our statue, so we can actually just swing the weapon, hit it, and you get a bonus XP for exposing him on his first try. After this, it's just a simple beatdown. And, a little bit of lag. And there he goes. So once he dies, you're going to want to pick up the crest. You got the chest. Now it also will have a set of boots right here, the boots of grounding. Now they are an interesting item. You can only pick up, so only one member of the party can pick them up. As you see, it gives 100 electrical resistance, but it does make it so that you cannot jump. This is handy for one of the optionals coming up, so definitely keep those handy. Alright. So at this point, we do want to continue through, so where our chest was. And we're going to head around the corner. And we're going to head left. So at this point, we're going to head left again. We're going to use the lever to go through the wall. Now here we are going to have a small group of guys. This is essentially where we got to get through. These are the crests that we're collecting to actually allow us through this door here. So here's that bit. Now if you head right from the start, this would be where it ends you, but of course we went all the way around so that we can collect that crest on the way. Now at this point, we do have a door here, which as you see, literally has a whole bunch of traps. We do have a trap box, and then you can unlock the door to head in. Now throughout this quest, there are also lots of little rooms that are going to have a whole bunch of little treasure in it. And this will get you a little bit of XP as you're collecting treasure from the treasure room. Doesn't have anything there. But there are a lot of these little treasure rooms, so you'll get experience if you are able to find them all. As well with these reviewer journals as well. Alright, so from that point you're going to want to head down the stairs just a little bit until we can head south. And head all the way up these stairs. So once we get around, we're going to get into a bit bigger of a room here. And we're going to have a whole bunch of kobolds, so just be ready for a bigger fight. So the next thing to point out is we have to go through, let's get the name first. Those doors in front of us, there are 3 there. Now, 2 of them are usually trapped. This has a breakaway floor, so if you, I'll explain it as I get closer, but you'll notice the red lines jumping out. So that one we didn't get one. That one we didn't get one. This one I'm getting a trap notification. Meaning if we open up these doors here, so this door will be fine. But if I open up this door, the whole floor, if you look right here, it's kind of like a giant triangle. That's all gonna break out. So you can actually, if you are close enough to the edge here, or send in our little hireling buddy to quickly open the door here, you'll see the floor breaks out. Now this does insta-kill whatever goes down there, and because it is a pet, like, we can't get him up here, we're gonna have to revive him this way. If it was you yourself that had fallen down, then it would actually port you back to where the pile is right here at the shrine with that corpse pile. So we're gonna get him to open up this door. So there we go, we got a safe door. Now inside, however, though it is a safe door, you can actually have some traps. Now when you do get a wave of traps, so like this one here, it kind of locks you in the room with a whole bunch of spinning blades and a trap box. Now it is very difficult just due to the fact, like, if you don't have a really good evasion, really good reflex, that you are going to get hit multiple times by the trap, and they stay active until you can get that trap box, so it is kind of brutal. Once we're done, we're going to want to pull this lever here, which will open up this door. Now this is where things get a little bit tricky. Now these doors on the side, they kind of have a barrier to them. right there, as you'll see. We actually can't get through them, though the undead can. Now the only way to get through them is to make sure that there are no undead near the door. Now this is very tricky because inside those rooms there are the, like right there, there are those necromancers, which are constantly respawning these undead. So this is a great respawn room area. As you kill them, they're just going to keep spawning in more. So I like to drag them all the way to the end and just kind of rush in here. Once I rush in, I kill the necromancers as quick as you can. As you kill them from each section, so like here's be the last one in this room, you will also get a notification that no more zombies are going to be created from this room. So we can move on to our next room, so on and so forth, and just blitz through. Alright. Now, the crests that you're getting, they can spawn in any of the rooms. So, though we got it on our first try, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the one that the crest will be in. So, you do just gotta watch yourself. And again, we got a whole lot of these guys. And they have a large hit point pool, 9,000 apiece. But as they do line up nicely for us, we can quickly get them down. Now you'll notice our door, it did drop temporarily. That's just because they're getting far enough away from the door so we can actually sneak through. So as you can see, a lot of undead, and it does get very, very difficult if you have like a group split up and you're kind of stuck alone. I've seen a lot of parties get wiped here just because, again, if you cannot kill those necromancers fast enough, they're just going to constantly keep sending those waves and you will get overwhelmed. Now I do know that I did miss one of the rem chests in that last room. Just kind of trying to keep this as short as possible, as this is a little bit longer of a quest as well. Just got this one last room to clear.
It's hard to eat just one.
So once you do have your 2 crests, there's our 2 crests there. Grab this one here as well.
Yes.
And then once you're done, you want to head back through our door. And we're going to head back down to our main hall. And that'll get you through into that room there,
You serve me well.
which is our throne room. Now, if you are playing on the first version of this quest, so the first time in here, this room would actually be your end fight room. Though there are still some optionals at the end of it. After this fight here, it would finish. So as you'll notice, as you enter, there are a whole bunch of helmed horrors. And you're supposed to make your way to Whisper and just talk to him. Now this is again where the fight actually starts. Now personally, if you're able to, I definitely recommend trying to kill these helmed horror first. Just because it does make killing Whisper that much easier if you don't have to worry about all these guys. Now hopefully with them all around me. Nope, they completely surrounded me and I wasn't able to move. So yeah, you do want to try and take them out first, as you'll notice. Kind of spread throughout the room. And again, we are locked in here. Once you die, it kind of lets you out a little bit. You can actually run to the shrine. So let's try this again. I should have came in a little bit more prepared. I didn't have that ability on to avoid the magic missiles. Alright. So again, we want to head on in and really get rid of those helmed horrors. Those are our biggest danger here. Now, if you've watched some of our other videos with these helmed horrors, they like to change their elements on you. So they can be any of the basic main like elements: electric, fire, acid, I think gold. But yeah, so they're gonna, as you'll notice, certain times they'll swap. When they swap to these elements, if you are hitting an electric guy with the electric, it not only will it barely damage him, but it'll actually heal him. So you do just gotta watch out. Oh, there's that stunning again. Let's cheaty my way out of that. Now, every now and then they will bug out and they will get stuck, kind of like these guys all got stuck. They kind of, not exactly sure why, but for some reason they just kind of go up in the air and can't come down. Alright, so now that they're gone, just focus on our actual end boss here. Of course, he stunned us as we were putting on that fusillade. So as you see, Whisper himself really isn't too terrible, though he does give those stuns, so just watch out for it. As you saw, that's stuns, that's really what got us here. Now once you take him down enough, he's going to actually yield. Now if you're playing on the base version, you're not going to get this yield, you're just going to fight him, that's it. On this one, we can actually choose to just go see a master or finish you off. I always choose to finish him off. But I tend to kill the helmed horrors first. Now if you were still fighting him and the helmed horrors were still alive, then at that point the helmed horrors also become passive. So if you just focus on Whisper and kill him, you won't have the helmed horrors to deal with either. Now in this room, you'll notice we got a nice little Just moving picture, I just love that. We're also going to have these 3 chests at the end. Now, one of them is a mimic. It always is. So there's our mimic. Now, all of them actually do contain loot, including the mimic. You'll notice the pile of treasure is still just sitting right there. And yeah, we just gotta go through, kill the mimic, grab our loot. And again, this is where you would complete if you were not in the extended version. Now at this point, once you've completed and you've gotten this loot, there are a couple more optionals that you can do, even in the base version. So we're going to grab this loot here. Now you'll notice these chests are also locked. These are what you can also use those keys for. But again, you can also pick the locks on these. Alright. Now in one of the chests you will get black stones. These are actually used to upgrade some of the named items that you can loot out of these quests. Alright. So through our door right here, we're going to head up to the north. And we're going to have a named item, or a named enemy that can drop just down here in the hall. So again, this one is one of the bosses that you can fight just even on the base version. And is probably, in my opinion, one of the harder ones to do, especially solo. And it's hard to do solo for one major reason. So I'm actually going to be bringing in my hireling and my dog to assist in doing this one. Alright, so let's just call you. Let's call you. I'm gonna make the dog aggressive. I'm gonna give myself invisibility. Now the way this one starts, oh, let's actually finish killing these guys first. So the way it starts is once you get into that end room there, we're gonna give you this. So once you get in there and you start that fight, it's gonna be a pull out the spear option. You need one person, preferably somebody who is invisible, as it really helps to keep that aggro off of you, as it does take a long amount of time to actually pull out the spear. So here we go. Now, the first little while, if you rush in, the guy who's going to pull the spear rushes in right away. As you see, we can get a fair amount of that pulling done before it actually starts. At which point, it's going to draw the aggro of them.
Your friend has embraced the inevitable.
It's kind of, again, just pulling the aggro over there. Now, as you see, we weren't actually able to get them. Alright, so let's give that another go. So again, as you see, solo, this is super difficult. I actually won't be able to complete it, just because we can't keep them off of us long enough to be able to go through there and kill them. So again, super difficult, and yeah. But the trick is, the person who pulls the spear, once you get the spear out, the giant will become active, and you're just going to want to beat down on that giant. I'm actually going to give it one more try here. I'm going to summon up my turret here. Actually just missed the pet. And we're gonna do this here. So hopefully that's gonna pull them all away from us and let them fight that thing. Yeah, it's a no-go. Just not enough time to pull that there. So again, you just want multiple people in there. Really helps. Once the giant gets up, you fight the giant. Once he dies, whoever had pulled out that spear, you want to like interact with the giant again. That'll shove the spear back into the giant's chest, killing the giant, allowing you to then loot the chest that's over top of him. And then that also will stop the spawn of those enemies there. So I do apologize for not being able to do that during stream. Again, it is just really difficult with those endless spawning enemies. It's not like you can even stop to kill them, then pull it. They're just going to constantly spawn, so.
If this bit of treasure was overlooked by looters,
Alright, so from here, just out to the south, we have a door here. And we're going to have a trap going down the stairs. Now, at the bottom of the stairs here, we are going to have another one of our bosses. This one's a lot easier and can definitely be done solo. It's just a mummy. Now, as you're fighting the mummy, once he reaches specific hit points amounts, he's going to summon in a bunch of skeletons, and it's just a beatdown. It's really easy to do, especially in comparison to that giant. Now, each of these named enemies in here, they are considered a raid loot boss. So as you see, they do have the purple names. As well, on top of that, they each have their own individual loot drops. So certain named items only drop from specific bosses. And yeah, it's just a beatdown. So as you notice, if you do keep fighting the mummy without actually taking the time to fight the undead that are spawning, it will spawn a lot of them. However, you can actually, if you are able to knock him down, you can get yourself into situations where he's literally can't get to you, making it kind of easier for yourself in the sense where it's safer. Now, once he dies, it doesn't unsummon the enemies, so you do got to actually go through and kill the rest. So if you're not really looking forward to killing large groups of enemies, definitely recommend killing the skeletons as they're spawning in, so you don't kind of get stuck with this horde like I have here.
Now, once you do have them all defeated, one, your barrier goes down. On top of that, it also will let you
Safely head to the actual base there, or the chest room there.
as well. A nice little bit of experience. Nothing major, but 5,000.
So here we go. Let's get rid of that mummy.
Alright, so there's our chest.
Glittering
Now again,
treasure.
named items can drop out of
Little
these.
good it did for
This one
once.
honestly isn't the greatest. It's the Mage Star. It's got its usefulness, as you see, it can be recharged. And there you see the Zendrum attuned. This is what those black stones are used for, is to upgrade those, to bring out its better effects. Now in here, you'll also notice right on the wall we actually have a rest shrine. Now we can't path to it,
I
but you
do
can
not
actually
sleep,
use this.
But I imagine
So
it's
I am
like
gonna
looking
grab
into
that.
the void.
Just because we are almost dead here, or rather almost out of spell points. And while I'm at it, the hireling up, have them use the shrine. So there we go. Now again, this optional here is another one that you could do just with the base quest. Ultimately, the only one you can't do is actually the dragon. So now back into this room, out of the west wall, we have this, but this hall is littered with traps. Now you have some going this way. Now heading north here, all it's going to be is a bunch of traps. And at the end, it's going to have like a jeweled key, nothing special. And as you see, we actually lost
Serve
our
me well.
neutralization bonus. Again, it's very hard to get that in here without going throughout the entirety of the map, which is very, very huge. So again, from here, you want to head south. Now you do want to watch out, as these halls can be trapped with blade traps. And they're going to lead you into this room here. Now in this room, and just through that door, we're going to have another boss. There we go. Now the trick to this one is, again, you want somebody with evasion. So you're going to get the attention of our boss, and then you can actually hop up right here on the kind of the pillar of the bed frame and just attack them. Now, as you notice, every bolt I'm firing, I am getting a save. Every now and then I'm going to fail and get this statue lightning. Now this is where it really helps to have those boots of grounding to get that bonus electrical resistance. Because if you get those stacks, it can add up real quick and hurt really, really bad. So somebody who doesn't have evasion, each one of these saves would add an additional stack, so it can quickly add up. So you'll see I'm at 4 stacks. Once it times down to 0, the stacks are removed and it would reset. So I definitely recommend fighting slower than I am here. If you do start taking damage, as I'm starting to get hit, I would just wait until the timer ran out and then continue on. So there's 18 is what I was getting hit by. But again, I do have a very large resistance to electricity. Once he dies, as you see, he does a nice big blast, so you just gotta watch out for that. So this guy's actually kind of one of the easier ones if you have evasion. If you don't, each time it's hit, it's gonna give a stack of that, and it's just brutal. Now in this one here, this is one of the named items that you can get, which is the Librum of Silver Magic. It is very, very nice item. And also, what makes these items really great is they are actually bind on equipped. So you can put them on the auction house and so on and so forth. Alright, so he is the last of the 3 bosses that you can actually fight and do without having the extended version, which we have. So if you're on just the base version, you've beaten the guy, completed the quest, and done those 3 optionals, that's all that you can do here. Now, if you are on the extended or the commentary version, now once you've done those, we actually want to head back into the main hall here.
If you're done with your foolishness,
which will have some more enemies spawning in. Alright.
baubles and flummery.
So we want to just head down our path. Kind of get to the end here where we went down to get that second crest. We're going to head up those stairs there. Now, as you see, again, littered with some enemies, helmed horrors, my favorite. Now, a lot of people at this point actually choose to just run right past them. And of course, they both went electric. So again, a lot of people choose to just run right past them. I want to kill them, that way we can go a little bit slower there with you guys. So, of course, he's lightning now.
The time of your death. Let's toast our success with a feast of souls.
Alright, so once you got them there, again, you're just going to want to head into the big room. So again, a few more guys. So let's just quickly take them out. So again, most people choose to run right past them and head into the open door there. As that is actually the door that we need to go in. Go. So yeah, again, most people choose to just run past, run in here, and you want to open this treasure chest here, which will drop our floor out. Now it does have a notice on the map, that little purple right here, if you can see it quick. A little purple notification, and that'll just kind of point out which one it is. Now once you drop down here, there are going to be a bunch of doors leading out. Now, a couple of them are traps. You notice we got the trap notification here. If it is a trap, what's going to happen is as you open the door, it's actually just going to fall straight down on you, which does a large amount of damage. So I definitely recommend, even if you have the trap sense, to just hop off to the side. Now, one of the doors will lead deeper in. So in our case, that one. Two of the doors here are going to be that trap that fall down on top of you. And then the last door is actually going to be a small little treasure room, giving you a little extra loot there. Nothing named, but a little extra loot. Now, once you're done, you're going to want to head into Whisper's Crypt here, where you are going to be given a choice. You can either help or fight Whisper. Now, I always recommend to accept the deal and fight the dragon rather than Whisper, both of which are actually extreme difficulty optionals. But killing the dragon gives a chance at all the named loot that can drop in this quest. So it's totally worth it, and I mean, you're killing a dragon. Come on. So we're going to accept the deal here. If you had chosen not to accept the deal, you would just fight Whisper right then and there. And yeah, it's just kind of a beatdown. That's it. So here we are. We're going to go through our dimension door. And we're going to have to fight a white ice dragon here. As you see, an extreme difficulty optional slay him. Now, you can actually go through it without slaying the dragon at all. And that would just be to not wake up the dragon. So, it's kind of hard not to. Basically, you want to not wake up the dragon. So the first thing the dragon does when he's awake is he blocks off that path. Now, if you are in that path, it will kill you. So, you do got to watch out. Now, once you do, you can actually hop up here. It's kind of a nice little hidey hole spot. Now, you can't get ranged attacked, but you cannot be meleeed. And it is very, very nice because the dragon, if you have that ability, you can just sit there and wail on the dragon. Now, while you're in here, there are those pillars of ice. The pillars actually do have enemies inside of them. And why this is important is if you get the dragon to break them, you'll notice, like for here, the owlbear is actually fighting the dragon, so that's going to help you take down the dragon a little bit faster, doing a little bit additional damage. And from where we are right now, again, we're safe from that melee. We just got to worry about that spell damage. And it's a straight beatdown. Now the dragon, as you see, does have 500,000 hit points. It does take a while. But with help from our owlbear, we're actually getting it done a little bit quicker, so it's very nice. Now once the dragon dies, obviously we do get that optional So almost down. Now once the dragon does fall, obviously you want to kill up any trash. Just like our owlbear here. Let's see, he can almost get to us, but not quite. Now, the optional for this one does give you a really nice chunk. We got 25,000 experience for just killing the dragon. There we go. Now, as you'll see, like, I don't know if you can see him in here, but basically each of these little pyres of ice are going to have various groups of enemies. Kind of see an owlbear there. Not really see the things, but yeah, they'll just be there. As you're going through, he's going to break various ones, so just be careful if you are kiting him in this room.
You have the egg.
Now, the main objective is obviously to pick up the egg and escape. So if you can do that without actually waking the dragon, you could just be done. However, killing the dragon is going to give you these 3 chests, which again can drop named items.
Glittering treasure.
So
Little
I
good
definitely recommend
did
trying
the ones you
kill 'em.
killed to claim it.
just to see what kind of loot you can get, especially if you are going after specific items. Now the main one that you're going to want to reroll is the one that drops these stones, and ooh, another Libram with another mythic too. I will take that. So again, our final one
Baubles
here,
and flummery. Distractions from the inevitable.
and I'm going to take that because I need thieves tools. Now once you're done, we do have our cave in here. You actually are going to have to kill the cave-in. So it does take, again, it has a nice chunk of hit points. So you can't just immediately escape. So this is, again, that optional with the dragon. So if while you were fighting the dragon, like, oh, I can't do this, you can't escape until after you kill this cave-in. And as you can see, it does have another nice chunk of hit points. Alright, so there that goes. Once that's down, you just want to take our dimension door. And again, talk to Rivor, or Whisper here. It will give you the completion and unlock his chest, which will again give you more black stones. Though this one doesn't actually have any named items, it will give a nice chunk of these black stones. Now we're going to loot that. I'm going to go into our bag, look for our black stones, see how many we have. And then I'll see if I can't upgrade one of those tomes, just to show you what we get out of them. So it is lagging a little bit. So we got 52 black stones. So here we go. So we can see the list. So this is what it can do. So for 150, we can upgrade the Mage Star, which will now give it 15 charges of the Absorb Magic. The Necklace of Mystic Eidolons, it changes the Insightfuls from 3s to 4s. And it brings the Eidolon summons cooldown from 80 seconds, or from 120 to 80, and it also gives you augment summoning. Now Lantern Ring, this is a really nice item for warlocks, as it brings that extra damage from 2 to 12 up to 3 to 18, and gives you a nice 18% for the Radiance lore. That's great for warlocks because that's just extra on harmful spellcast, which all your attacks are considered spellcast for that sake. Now our Libram here, it brings the charisma and intelligence to 11. It adds that insightful spell lore as well, so it's really, really nice. We got our Dragon Tank, which again increases the armor to it. And yeah, so there's a lot of really nice items that you can get out of here and that you can upgrade. Definitely one of my favorite quests. It is a very, very long quest, but it's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.